The carnage continues in Ukraine. President Biden taking a bike ride over the weekend as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was warning that World War III, he said, may have already begun. Let's catch up on current events with tonight's Bream team, Democratic strategist Kevin Walling and Fox News political analyst Gianno Caldwell. Great to have you both. So let's start there. Gianno, fair to call out the president for riding his bike. I mean, presidents play golf, they ride bikes, they do stuff, even when the world is in a dire place.
Well, I think that it is fair to say that presidents should be able to take a moment and step back when the country's in crisis, but at the same time, optics do matter. And if we're being honest, if it were Trump in office, there would be a lot of commotion from the media everywhere about what he's doing. So he is not above reproach in this sense. And truthfully speaking, this president has said that he was going to be a leader, and in times like this, in crisis, that he would be the person that the American people and the world around him could look to for leadership, and we've not necessarily seen that with this president.
Okay, so one of the things he was not talking about this weekend is this revelation by the New York Times coming to the conclusion that what people were saying more than a year ago, in fact, ahead of the 2020 presidential election, that these laptops, these, emails about Hunter Biden doing deals in foreign countries and all that kind of stuff, they were legit. The New York Post, which actually had its Twitter account shut down over this temporarily, wasn't allowed to post about this stuff. They have an editorial today that says this: James Clapper and our other intel experts are full of it. And they talk about these 51 intel officials, former or current, who signed on to an October 2020 letter saying that this laptop stuff was Russian intel and misinformation. Most of them would not talk to the Post. But anyway, they say this: their credibility should be less than zero at this point. Events have proved time and again that they either cannot get basic facts right in their area of expertise, spies and spying, or they're so insanely partisan that they will fudge, fib, and falsify anything if it furthers their political goals. Kevin, this doesn't look good for those folks.
Yeah, Shannon, again, there's a lot of questions, I think, around Hunter and his laptop. Obviously, the White House has declined to comment. He's a private citizen. But there is a grand jury that's in a board of inquiry that's going on, and we should let the process play out. I think what we've seen are just leaks from right-wing news outlets in terms of what folks have been able to capture from that laptop. And there's certainly, as I said, more questions than answers, but we've got to let the Department of Justice, which is leading this probe, this investigation, as you know very well, Shannon, take the lead on this. And there should be full transparency with regards to any of these dealings with the president's son, certainly. Okay,
but Kevin, you're not suggesting the New York Times is a right-leaning media outlet.
Right. I'm not, but okay. We don't know the full content. We don't know the full content or context of a lot of those emails.
Okay.
They've just been released sporadically.
Well, and again, we have not had outright denials that the emails themselves did not originate and are not legit from Hunter and back and forth. In fact, we've had people who were on those email chains divulge to people here at Fox News on camera and otherwise that they were legit because they were parties to those emails. But I digress. Okay, the Federalist says this today: the New York Times doesn't care if you know that big tech helped rig Joe Biden's election. They say the New York Times openly revealing that corporate media, including itself, Twitter and Facebook, lied and got away with it is a hierarchy flex. It's a display of their power. They are saying we can lie to Americans and get away with it. Gianno, in the context of the New York Times saying, yeah, this stuff was real.
Yeah, and you know what? The media was completely and totally derelict in their duties to the American people on this laptop issue. That's why a Gallup poll from October 2021 showed that only 7% of U.S. adults have a great deal of trust in the media today. Certainly, with what we see and what we continue to see, I think a lot of folks feel as though the media continues to gaslight them and tells them what they should be thinking versus what the realities of any given situation may be, and it's problematic on every level.
Kevin, I don't know. The media may just rate just above dentists. Poor dentists. They're doing important work, but not everybody loves or trusts them. Final word from you on how this has all been handled.
Well, you rate very much higher in my book, Shannon. But listen, Donald Trump tried to tie Hunter Biden throughout the campaign to his father. He attacked him in those debates. Listen, the American people voted for Joe Biden overwhelmingly over the incumbent president because of his vision for this country, not because of this Hunter situation. And again, there are a lot more questions than answers, and this president, I think, supports full transparency, even with regards to his son.
Okay, well,
we disagree on that premise.
Well,
so
and I hope so.
Not
and by the way,
vision for America.
There is polling that shows that there were people who voted for President Biden who said if they knew more of this Hunter stuff, they wouldn't have voted for him. But listen,
Yeah.
transparency and investigations ongoing, Kevin, as you note. So we will wait. We stand by. Gianno and Kevin, thank you both.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Shannon.
All right, our special coverage continues with more live reporting, the latest from Ukraine. We'll take you back there next.